Guys, welcome back to another episode of Lengua de la Liga. We're going to be talking mainly about Girona in this episode, but also a couple takeaways that have happened after match day 2. A reminder, or maybe an announcement, I don't think I've said this yet. Our first live stream of the season will be this Sunday. Athletic Club versus Real Betis should be a banger. If you guys don't want to miss that and other La Liga content here on the channel, make sure you are subscribed. And of course, check out my co-hosts, all their channels, links, social media, everything in the description. Elijah, you want to talk about Girona, who didn't start the season very well. They've gotten 0 points. They've arguably gotten embarrassed in their first 2 games. What would you like to talk about in regards to this team?
Just how shit they are. I mean, genuinely. Let's get it out of the way now in this season, because obviously you guys had your prediction video. I was unfortunately not able to be there in that moment in time, but if I was, I would have put Girona probably at a cool 19th is where I was looking at them. And
Cool
it's
19th.
trending that way. A 19th might be a win when it's all said and done to not finish 20th here. They're just embarrassing, man. They're just embarrassing. But I do want to kind of talk about how they got to this point of embarrassment, because it was 2 seasons ago, top 3 in La Liga, which doesn't happen. That just does not happen to any club outside of the big 3. In your guys' opinion, what is the biggest reason why they've gotten to this point, and how does it compare to other La Liga teams who have had to deal with similar issues over the span of like 2 years?
I like what you said off air before we started recording, and you're like, let's get this one and done Girona video out of the way. We might not have to talk about them again for the rest of the season, which is a shame because of where they were 2 years ago, like you said. I mean, I think my number one reason, which this could easily bleed into a bigger topic here, is the multi-club ownership, where everybody knows that Citigroup owns Girona, and that the priority is clearly not the Spanish club, and that this is being used as a feeder team to Manchester City. We can see that through the Vitor Rice loan. We see that through Savinho as well. What's freaking weird, though, and why what makes me pissed off is I don't even think that Citigroup's doing this well, because they are genuinely allowing their second best asset, their best feeder club, potentially get relegated to the second division of Spain. And I don't see the ROI strategy there. So that's what pisses me off. But I mean, yeah, I think it's their ownership doesn't want to win. They don't care. It's like Strasbourg, but 5 times worse with who are owned by Chelsea. It's 5 times worse, because at least Strasbourg are making like 10 signings a window. I mean, they're getting some good players in there, man. Who did Girona have? Thomas Lemar on loan. It's peak. It's peak.
Nah, look, guys, it's pretty simple. It's been poor squad building, and then these players are ass. There's no 2 ways about it. I mean, some of these players, I look at Miovski, Abel Ruiz, like those 2 guys were supposed to replace Dovbik. What have they done?
Abel Ruiz was supposed to be good. Keep in mind, he was supposed to be like halfway decent, and just really hasn't been.
They paid $10 million for Abel Ruiz. He had 6 goals in the Portuguese league as a striker. You know how bad you have to be to finish with 6 goals in the Portuguese league for Braga as a striker? That's embarrassing. We could go out there and probably get you 3 or 4. 10 million on that guy to replace Dovbik. I'm glad you brought that up, Michael. When these guys do buy, they suck at it. They are a terrible buying club in the last 2 years. And they're just, you know, when you let your entire starting 11 leave, if you don't replace them well, you're done, man. That's why I've always been a little bit forgiving towards Michel, because I don't know what the hell he's supposed to do with these players. What is he supposed to do with Thomas Lemar? He's supposed to stay up in La Liga? He's supposed to push for Europe? It makes no sense.
At what point?
They're a poor buying club.
Yeah.
And I think Michel was talking about it as well, that there's like a disconnection between him and the board about there's no clear strategy, and I'm not giving the tools. I mean, this downfall of Girona is like House of Cards. Once the main character left, I'm not going to say the name of the main character, but once he left, that show fell apart hard. And it's the same thing right now with Girona. We're just watching the House of Cards of Girona. It's inevitable they're going to get relegated. I look at the other like promoted teams. I'm like, okay, they play some decent football. Girona are trying to play decent football with poor players, with really poor players. Like Krejci's about to leave for 30 million. I mean, he's a decent center back. 30 million. Come on, man. So who are they going to replace him with? Vitor Rice? Do you think he has enough experience? Yes, he did well with Palmeiras. He hasn't played for like 7-8 months. He's just been sitting on the bench at Manchester City. What is he going to do at Girona? Does he have enough experience to deal with the relegation battle where you kind of need that sort of experience of relegation before to understand the sort of mental battle each and every week? He's not going to have that experience. Then I look at players like, look, Yanel Herrera, good midfielder. He needs to raise his game. Zhankov, who was unbelievable for Girona when they were in the top 3, he's fallen off a cliff. Yace Asprilla, who I love, they cost 18 million. He's a club record signing. What has he done at Girona? What has he done?
Nothing.
So these are the issues. The signings that they have made since all those star players left, the Dovbik, Savinho, Couto, Eric Garcia on loan, all those star players, what have they done? They haven't been home runs, and now it's affecting this team. I think it's inevitable that Michel will get sacked soon, or he might just resign. I think he's tired of this nonsense, and he deserves better. He deserves to have better players around him. I think he just looked at the transfer window right now. Okay, you're going to let Miguel Gutierrez leave for 18 million, and you're going to let Krejci leave for 30 million. I mean, what
maybe
what
Arnau as well now.
And Arnau. So what else is he supposed to do, Michel? I feel bad for him, and I think this has totally been on the board. Yes, you can criticize Michel's sort of tactical idea into these games and leaving himself so open. Like, I watched the game against Villarreal. I mean, they were so bad.
That was
I mean,
poor.
playing out from the back, defensively. Absolutely. They gave Tajon Buchanan his Kodak moment of his career. And all I just see is Canadian prop on my Twitter feed at the moment. Jack and Elijah are giving all the CONCACAF prop at the moment because Tajon Buchanan scored his first ever hat trick. This is not what I have to deal with on my Twitter feed.
Yeah. The video's coming out today for us.
I don't know about point.
So shout out to Tajon Buchanan. I mean, great hat trick, but overall, Girona are just a laughing stock right now. I mean, they had an unbelievable moment, being in the title race, being in first place in La Liga. But that downfall, it can hit you quick. It had this. They're exactly like West Ham. I look at Girona and West Ham as the same thing. Both had unbelievable highs, winning the Conference League, qualifying to the Champions League, but each club are exactly the same. Since those glorious moments, the board have let down the entire fan base and the team.
Yeah.
I think they'll be the greatest one-season wonder ever. It's Girona. At least West Ham, look, every season they'd be pushing for Europa League, and they got it a few times. I mean, Girona are about to be. We talked about in the Hot Takes episode if Valencia are going to disappear into obscurity. I mean, Girona, y'all, if they get relegated, are we actually confident that they're going to get the investment and come back?
They're done.
They're done. They might sell the club. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what would happen in that case. And you should. Can you imagine being a Girona fan and you're like, oh, you guys don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Not even have it. Y'all, they spent $200K in the window. $200K. They bought an apartment in Buenos Aires. That's how much money they spent in this window. And you want to be competitive in La Liga?
That buys you a room in New York.
That's 30 days Airbnb in New York. And you want to be competitive in the Spanish top flight, man? It's embarrassing. I think they've been easily the worst team in the first 2 games. Real Oviedo look way better than them.
Around Europe, I would say.
Yeah. And how long is it? I like what Michael brought up about Michel because I think we can all agree he's probably the saving grace here. And so how long is it going to be before we get a situation like we're seeing in Nottingham Forest in the Prem, where you just see the ownership and the manager not vibing whatsoever? And it's it's public. It's very apparent, right? With Nuno Espirito Santo kind of being just like, hey, we're not on the same page. We don't even get along anymore, right? I don't think Michel would ever go as far as to make those issues public, but I do feel like there are teams in La Liga who would benefit from having a manager like him right now, right? Like just finding a way to like I don't know. I was want to ask that question, right? Who are some of the clubs that right now would instantly upgrade with a manager like Michel? Because I feel like he has to be considering that right now. Sevilla, I was thinking also Sociedad.
I was thinking Celta de Vigo was the first one that came to mind. Kind of like more attacking sides.
Seeing Michel in Europe again.
Sevilla are just too
with the tools.
defensive, I think. I don't know. Also, that back line sucks too. So I don't know if they'll be able to play out like he wants to. At least Celta have Marcos Alonso and Mingueza. Like they got ballers in the back who can distribute. I just see Sevilla getting pressed off the park, kind of like Girona getting pressed off the park. Dude, Villarreal, we'll talk about them a little bit later, but the game was over in 30 minutes. It was done.
Yeah.
Gone. Put on the youth team for the rest of the game. It's embarrassing. It really is bad. And for me, even I think if they were approaching this maybe more like a Strasbourg, I would still hate it because I don't really like the multi-club ownership. I think it's just bad for the game. But at least I would understand it. And at least if they're trying to be this club who like flips players, they're basically, you know, a real estate guy who flips houses. That's kind of like what Girona are trying to be.
But
Then buy players with sell-on value. What is the sell-on value of Daily Blind? Or the sell-on value of Miofsky? You really gonna flip him for 20 mil? I don't get it. I see nothing here that makes sense except their kit designer. That was it. Everything else has been a fail.
And if you're gonna flip houses, bro, you got to have somebody live in the damn house, like more than anything else, right? If you're gonna flip properties, that is the one measurement of success. And again, with all the funds Girona has brought in from all these players they moved on, bro, they got a bank account that I imagine is just sitting there fat as hell and no one's touching it. No one's looking at it. If anything, they're just siphoning those funds over to Man City and they're finding a way to make do with them. It's
because they need it, because City needs the money from Girona.
Yeah,
apparently.
It's crazy.
I mean, the fact that Stuani is still your like best player attacking wise in the Big 25, he had 11 goals in La Liga last season, which was like 5 or 6 more than the next person. After all the investment and change, and he's still the guy, you almost deserve to get relegated at that point.
I'm waiting for Dovbyk to have a masterclass when he signs for Villarreal, and they get like that second leg, right? That second game in the second half of the season. I think that's going to be the deciding factor for each other. Like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm out. Like my old players quite literally dunking on us right now. I'm gone at the end of the season. I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin.
Would y'all's opinion change if the January transfer window came around? And I think that's ownership's final opportunity to show that they care, because I think we all expect Girona to be in the relegation zone in January, December time. What if they came in and they splashed like 60 mil?
They just won't, though.
They won't. Yeah,
they just won't. Like it's a cool thing to think about. For real, it's just not going to happen, you know. Like
60 million pesos.
It's like asking yourself, like, oh, how great would it be to be a millionaire? I'm still waiting on my Lengua Liga check, by the way. How great would it be to be like a millionaire? You know, like oh, that's a fantastic idea to think about, but it's just right now, it's not going to fucking happen. You know what I mean? So we move on.
I mean, even if they spent 60 million, who would they spend it on at this rate? Like they could spend 60 million, but if they're going in the way that they've been moving, it's going to be like the 7 worst players you've ever seen touch La Liga. From like random ass leagues who aren't performing, and then they're just spending money because they're expected to. So like I would need to see a lot from a high spending January transfer window to even feel a little bit okay after it. Some great signings would need to be made, but I don't trust them.
Where could they upgrade though? If they were to spend the funds, I'm kind of curious. Like
it would make sense if they were using like Man City youth players, like an Echeverri, for example, who went to Bayer Leverkusen, or Vitor Reis, obviously, who came into the team, or Nupan, the Norwegian midfielder. I think he's on loan at Middlesbrough. I would understand.
Why is Husanov not here?
Or Husanov would be brilliant for this team. He gets experience playing very open style play of football. They would be perfect for him, for his development at Manchester City. Nope, let's rot him on the bench at Manchester City because we're going to use our aging Ruben Diaz, who is not the same level anymore. Whereas we could just give these youngsters an opportunity to play week in and week out and see where they're at in their development. Nope. We'll just send them on loan to Bayer Leverkusen, where Echeverri might not even get to play every game because they spend a lot of money on Malik Tillman. So it's just really strange sort of planning, I think, from the City group. And to be honest, when you have 13 teams under the City group, you're bound to fail at some point. You cannot have everything working perfectly. Melbourne City doing well in the A-League. I don't know what's going on with New York City FC. I don't know what's going on with Montevideo City. I don't know what's going on with those teams. All I've seen is Girona and Manchester City. One team is still doing well, while the other one is just going out of their way to just get relegated and just be a forgotten afterthought at this moment in time. So I kind of feel bad for Girona, but also I'm kind of happy in a way because multi-club ownership must die ASAP in football for me. And if this is one way to do it, to relegate Girona, I'm for it. But I feel bad for the fans and for the players, like Yangel Herrera, who's been there for a long time, or, Zhainkov, who's been there for a long time. These players are going to suffer because of the poor squad building. Let's see what happens, but I think they're really in big trouble. I think them and Sevilla, watching the first 2 games, for me, they are the 2 worst teams.
Yeah, it's rough.
At least Sevilla had a little fight, I would say. Girona,
they still got quality players.
Yeah, they do. I mean, yeah, Jose was like, where would they upgrade? I mean, dude, the entire pitch. How about starting with a goalkeeper? That would be nice. I mean, hey, we were talking about how Phil Foden fell off. Maybe he needs a loan at Girona.
Yeah, if Foden,
God, imagine.
Girona, bro. Bro, he'd be stranded on an island. Like thinking he was like just suffering the worst punishment of all time. There's no.
You know what's about goddamn time? You spend all those years stat padding on a stacked City team. Why don't you know what struggle feels like? Why don't you come over here to Girona and you get the Luca Bacchio experience? Make something happen. Get me more than 14 GA. Otherwise, I never want to hear Premier League Golden Boy ever again. That's what I would like to see. I don't understand why these young City guys don't just go straight to Girona. It doesn't make any sense to me. And man, last thing I'll say here is just the fan experience must be diabolical. I mean,
I can't imagine.
I don't know what you do. What do you do? How do you get hyped for this?
You drink before every game, bro. There's no other fucking way. There's no other way.
That's
literally it. If you didn't have a drinking problem before this season, welcome in, brothers. Welcome in. I don't know, man. It's tough.
The whole situation, I think, I'm not the biggest fan of multi-club ownership. Only when it comes to Football Manager, I love it because I get to help another team out. But that is genuinely what the only reason should be. And I think the way City handled it is so poor. So I'm a Chelsea fan. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I think, like Chelsea Strasbourg, yes, there is a lot of issues there. Should they be happening? No. But at the very least, Chelsea are sending their players who are not going to get any game time at Chelsea, who are still these top talents who could be at the peak in a year or 2 or 3 to Strasbourg. And they're getting game time. Strasbourg fans, whether they like it or not, get to watch these players play. And the team overall is succeeding in the league, and they're not facing relegation. If you do it that way, if everybody did it that way, if not a little bit better, I don't think we'd be having these bad conversations. But when you compare this situation to Girona, it is so much worse. Like City very easily could be sending an entire 11 that would start for Girona, and they just choose not to, or the players just choose not to. It's a good environment, but they just choose not to. So, like, I do feel like Girona have been really hard done by, unfortunately, by the big guy in this group they don't need this City group. How do they benefit? Like, yes, they get some players in there, but how much different is it really for them? At the cost of Girona, I don't like it. I really, really don't like it when it's looked at it like that in this situation.
And let's be honest here. They could easily solidify themselves as a mid-table team in La Liga. Easily. If you just spent a little bit more money, had better planning, because you look at the other sides like Sevilla, to Real Sociedad, to Valencia, these teams are on the brink of collapsing. If they just make one little mistake, they're relegated. Girona could easily take advantage of that and just solidify themselves as a mid-table team, and maybe 1 or 2 seasons they can push for Europe and see if they can get into the Europa League or Conference League. They don't choose to do that. So this is just clearly on the board. And Michel, do you guys think he's going to resign or get sacked this season? Which one of those?
Resign. If he got sacked, bro, it'd be the most egregious firing of all time, considering what you gave this man to work with. There's no way. I feel like they know they can't sack him, because I don't know what other manager you bring in that's going to be okay with the environment that they're operating in. This is again, there's no clear upgrade in my opinion. Yeah, I think it has to be he just decides he needs more and moves on. And bro, and look at it, man. Look at the table today. I know we're 2 weeks in, but Espanyol sitting in 6th place at this very moment, following JJ Watt and his investment into that club, right? And again, it's not like Espanyol had a crazy revolutionary transfer window. Added a couple, unique pieces, and the fans are completely behind them. They can see that there's an ownership model in place that's going to benefit them long term. All of those vibes are super positive. And as a Barca fan, obviously, I hate to see that. But at the end of the day, it's very possible to see change pretty quickly, provided that you have an ownership team in place that has ambition. That's the best way to put it. That has some kind of ambition. So yeah, I think he resigned.
Yeah. No, and I think we saw that in real time last season, where I think it was around Christmas that Girona just went on a historic slide. And I like to think it was the moment where everybody collectively realized oh, we're not a priority and we're kind of on our own. And we just got to make do with this. No reinforcements in January, no big signings outside of a 20-year-old kid from Watford who had 6 league goals. And I think the vibe is really, really bad. Whether Michel gets sacked or honestly, I think that Girona is so conservative as an ownership. I think they would just keep him if they got relegated. So I think he's more likely to resign. And then if he doesn't get scooped up within the next, 12 months following his resignation, I will be surprised because there's nobody who can save this team, right? I mean, get in. Sean Dyche is probably the one person who might be able to do something and get them to finish 17th. I don't know how good his Spanish is.
Imagine.
I would kill to have Sean Dyche in La Liga. I'm not gonna lie. I think it'd be crazy, bro. Like that actually be a hell of a manager signing.
One thing I would say though about Michel, he's got to tactically switch up though. He cannot play this open, expansive football anymore. You don't have the pieces to do it. Just play direct. Play like Getafe. It's okay. Humble yourself. He has to do it. He doesn't have the personnel. Look at the way they played against Villarreal. I was like, are you kidding me? I know you don't have like a target man up front. Like they played this kid who was just in I think the 3rd or 4th division of Spain. I think Kamada. I think he's a youth product from Girona. I'm like, okay, he's not really a target man. He doesn't have the experience, but you have to try something different because playing off in the back with the players you have, Krejci, again, just an absolute, or Vitor Rice, was terrible on the day. Hey, Michel has to take some blame as well, just a little bit. I know it's a bit harsh, but you have to change as a manager.
But do you think he's being instructed to play like that?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's a good question. Maybe, yeah.
Just to to embrace the philosophy of like the parent club. Yeah.
Exactly. Like you want your youth teams in the international level to kind of play like the senior team so that they can just funnel all the way up. I don't know. Maybe there is some ownership that's like, hey, we need to get our players comfortable playing out from the back because that's how City like to play. So I know you don't have anybody who can do that, but we need you to. So go out there and try and lose possession and concede repeatedly. I don't know. I would love I hope that Michel just, does some like Shannon Sharp sit-down interview after he gets sacked and just like reveals everything that was going on in the background. He's like, I asked for, I asked for 20 different signings and I got Miovski, like something like that.
That'd be crazy.
I got Miovski and Arthur Melo. That's all I got.
Arthur Melo. That would be crazy. So RIP Girona is, I guess, what we're all saying. So I said that I think Girona are the worst team in La Liga through 2 games. Are Villarreal the best team?
Oh.
They're
2?
They're 2.
I can't think of anyone else that made me as excited to watch as Villarreal through 2. I mean, granted,
Barcelona Levante.
Wow, I mean that was great, but it didn't assert that they were the best team for me. I mean, Villarreal. I do want to say, obviously they were playing Oviedo and Girona, right? So it's not like they played Barça Real in the first 2 and absolutely excelled and looked amazing. So I do want to say that a little bit, but they've been fantastic. And they've looked like absolutely phenomenal. Like they didn't miss a step from last season. And just off those 2 games, I mean, I was talking to my friend yesterday about it. Like they look like they're set for a top 3, not even top 4. Like they're playing like they're set for a top 3. I feel like it has to be them. No one else has just has as dominant of a start as them for me.
Yeah, maybe you could say Athletic Club, by virtue of playing tougher opponents, might have a better nod there, but genuinely in the 2 games, Villarreal have killed the game at halftime to the point where their players are just like jogging in the second half. Nicola Pepe has been, y'all know I love this man, ridiculous. He has been ridiculous through 2 games. Now, I don't know how sustainable that is. I don't know what's going to happen if Pino leaves. But like this attack, man, they look like the real freaking deal. And I'm very excited. I think they play Celta de Vigo Sunday away. Dude, if they win that game 3-1, holy shit.
Champions League quarterfinalists.
Champions League quarterfinals. There we go. Man, that'd be
I can't wait for them to upset somebody.
Yeah, I know. They got the capability to do it. And this is all without Jose Perez as well, guys.
Yep.
When he gets back into this team, the clinical monster he was last season, Villarreal are absolute joy. Even I think, there's been now the rumors that Yeremy Pino might leave for 50 million, which I think if you're Villarreal, I would take that money. Either you
yeah,
take the money,
100%.
you still got
Run
the
with
players,
it.
you got Akumac, you got Nicolas Pepe, Tejan Buchanan now. I don't know what he had over this summer, or he's recovered immensely well since the tibia, but Tejan Buchanan, that first goal he scored on the weekend was filthy, bro. Absolute
Crazy
filth.
finish.
And I'm just very happy about Villarreal because, yes, they've lost some key players like Alex Baena, and obviously if Yeremy Pino does leave, but there's just remarkable scouting and remarkable just sort of tactical prowess they have with Marcelino. It's just such a joy. Like Renato Vega, he's their club record signing. He's not going to start on the bench pretty much until somebody in the back four underperforms. Renato Vega's not going to start. He's more of a project player for the future. And Mourinho, the guy they signed at right back from Atleti, the Uruguayan, beast. He might already be an early team of the season contender because that guy is unreal footballer.
Got an assist already too, man. The first 2 games. And keep in mind too, there's the rumors around. Well, one, of course, adding Dovbyk, that'll be huge. I think you just slot Pepe out wide, you put Dovbyk up top, and like you're probably good to go. But then Young too, right? There's like the rumors that apparently Barcelona are circling. I think that's a weird one for me because they get him and automatically they're going to move him on loan. Immediately. I don't think he sniffs anywhere near Barca's first team. So to me, that if I'm Villarreal, I don't know about that move, about sanctioning that move. I think it's like one of those where he's already productive for you. Like maybe you just find a way to keep him and revisit in the offseason. Because I don't think you want to disrupt what you have going with this attack in that way. Again, I'm not saying he's the end all be all. José Perez will come back and he'll slot that into that role very, very nicely should a Young leave. But again, just something to kind of keep note of.
So do you guys think it would be bad if they lose Yeremy Pino for 50 million? Or should they just take the money?
Take the money.
50 mil, bro? Nah, I think you have. I know we don't want La Liga to sell as many players, many talents, but bro, we were saying last season, Jack, remember last season we were talking about Pino, how he just hasn't really ever regained the pre-injury form that he used to have. I felt like, I don't know, last season he kind of, I don't know, just he wasn't as relevant in this attack. Probably the best way to put it. I think he started off the new season nicely. But bro, I mean, the Prem comes calling with 50 mil. You like to think that even in his pre-injury form, you'd probably take that money.
I don't think we like when La Liga sell talent, but at least me personally, the fact that it's Villarreal gives me confidence that these guys will do the right thing in replacing him. Like everything that Girona is trash at, Villarreal excel. Their recruitment is amazing. It's the best in Spain. I think it's better than anybody else. Yeah. It's certainly better than Atleti. I mean, Barca, you guys are like a ton of academy guys. Madrid, I mean, they don't have to be smart because they'll go out and either get your superstar on a free or they'll spend 40 mil on Mastantuono. So they don't really have to be business savvy like that. Villarreal, I have full confidence. If they sell Pino for 50 million, you got to take that. And they're going to sign some Paraguayan dude for 4 mil from goddamn Libertad.
I mean, they already got a replacement in Molero, so they already planned this. Obviously, I think Molero was more of a replacement for Alex Baena, but you still got Akumac. We were all impressed by Akumac before he got the injury last season. You still got Nicolas Pepe. You still got Tejan Buchanan. There's 4 players out wide for you right there. And you have a backup.
Bro, they might have the deepest attack in La Liga. Like, it's actually ridiculous.
They're about to bring in another Canadian, too. The Alawasei, Minnesota United striker.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So
that would be a massive move for MLS.
Who is 4 strikers deep in this league? Eong, Perez, Moreno, either Dovbyk or Olawasei? Who the hell has 4? Who's 4 strikers deep in this league?
Bro, we're still starting 38 or 37-year-old Lewandowski up top. I would give anything for a younger backup striker to come in and just
only one is Real Madrid because Gonzalo Garcia, Hendrick, and Mbappe.
But he hasn't even played, right? I mean, or I guess he's played a little bit here and there, but like we saw him in the Club World Cup. But I think when push comes to shove, we're not really going to see much of him, at least this season, potentially. Hendrick's going to rot in the bench unless he goes out on loan. But Joe, that's another guy that essentially could come into a side like, bro, ship his ass to Girona. I don't know, man. We were talking about that before. It's just something, man, because he can't rot on that bench with all the potential he was supposed to have coming into La Liga. But yeah, man, Villarreal right now, it's crazy that so many teams are in this famine mode and they're quite literally feasting with their attack.
Yeah.
And yet they sell stars every single summer. Every single summer. Chukwueze, you can go to Pau Torres. You just look at a sold 11 for Villarreal, ridiculous team. just the last 5 years, by the way, people. It's ridiculous what they do. And scouting-wise, this team are always a step ahead of the competition.
I'm not gonna lie. Part of me hoped that they would have brought back Nico Jackson. It looks like he might end up going to.
You know what,
bro? That would have been insane, right? Bro, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I know he might go to Bayern or whatever, but like on a loan. But like,
dude, Young is clear, bro.
Get him back at Villarreal would actually be insane.
Young is clear. No, keep the giraffe in the Premier League. We don't need Nicolas Jackson back here, bro.
Young is better than Dovbyk because I saw Dovbyk with AS Roma last season, and woo, I don't know what happened to him because after
Young is already better than Barry.
Yeah, but
okay, let's calm it down.
No, let's turn it up. He might be the best striker in the league. No,
bro, easy.
Yeah, no, I don't want Nicolas Jackson coming back. I think he can stay. I'd rather we get another like new guy purchased from outside the league and introduced. That's what I would rather have happen.
Fair enough.
Ain't nobody else.
Though he was insanely good when he was there, so I'm just saying it's a match made in heaven. I think.
As of right now, before we see the Champions League draw, which is later this week, how far do you think Villarreal will go? As of right now. Round of 16?
I expect them to make the knockouts.
After that, it gets dicey. It really is so dependent on opponent, and who they draw in the knockout rounds. But I would expect them, and I guarantee you, going into this group stage phase, no one's going to see it coming. There's not going to be any fan out there that supports European football that's going to look at this team and take them seriously. So I can't wait to see what happens when those first matches start coming through.
Yeah, when they see Nicolas Pepe on the other side, they're like, oh, man, this guy's washed. And then he's going to absolutely dunk on them with 2 assists.
Yeah,
guarantee it.
It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane.
Yo, my dream round of 16 matchup, if you just want pure cinema, Villarreal Bayern Munich, I think would go so freaking hard.
Just like 3 seasons ago when Villarreal knocked them out as well.
I know, bro. The company hype would die off immediately. Yep. God.
That Villarreal, how they play versus that Bayern line. Ooh.
It'd be a crazy matchup to think about for sure. I'm trying to think of like another one that would beat that.
Villarreal Liverpool right now would be cooking. I can't lie. Because Liverpool's defense is ass. So I think Villarreal would eat on that team.
We would have goals for sure. We would have goals in that matchup.
Yeah.
100%.
Konate looks lost, man. I don't know what's happened to him in the offseason, but he just...
I think he kind of wants to leave. I don't know. He's playing like it, in my opinion, but who knows?
Bring him to La Liga. Villarreal, man, absolute beast. Just really quick, and then we have time for one more mini topic. How many of Villarreal's big sales have excelled? Because Chukwueze for Milan is not I wouldn't say that's a win.
No.
Nico Jackson, not a win.
I would say Nico Jackson.
I would say it was a win.
Yes, I would say.
Define success then, because I'm a little bit curious about this.
Okay, is Pau Torres to Aston Villa a success?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Relatively speaking, it's a different measurement stick for a defender, but yes.
I think so. Yeah. Pau Torres was, I'm not going to say he wasn't a top 5 center back, but he was a top 10 in the Prem for Villa. And I don't think the fee was crazy. What was it? 40?
I think it was like 30 million, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just checking.
30 million.
I think it was 30 million, yeah.
That's a win, man. I mean, he was one of the first names on the team sheet for a while. So, yeah, I think that's a win.
Yeah. Okay, obviously Sorloth to Atleti, success?
That remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen. He's a top 5 fucking goal scorer last season.
Not because he stopped patting on the final match day. If he could finish against goddamn...
You got to put him away.
Okay, Estupinian to Brighton, success?
Success.
I would say so.
Yeah,
I would say so.
Some of these sales are ridiculous.
Moved on since,
I'm looking at like Funes Mori. I'm looking at other players here. It's like they know when to move on from some of these guys. Like Boulaye Dia, who went to, I think, Salernitana. I think they cost 20 million. That's a success right there for Villarreal. So they know when to move on from these players, and they know which players to sign on from that.
Yeah. They do good business, man, both ways. And they sell a lot better than most Liga clubs. Like I'm always super critical of Barca because I feel like we sell terribly. It is like literally one of the worst selling clubs on the planet. So to see another team that's actually setting the bar from that perspective, huge, man.
I think there's also the stereotype like don't buy from Barca.
I really don't want them to sign Dovbyk. I can't be honest.
I mean, bro, we got to remember how good he was in La Liga the last time he was here. Kind of put aside Serie A and Roma for a second. Just he was electric with Girona. And granted, maybe it was with the way Michel set up and with the way they were playing. Of course, some of the, now we know them to be I wouldn't call them superstars, but I mean, with some of the best talents they had around him, everything kind of worked out well. I don't know, man. I feel more encouraged him playing in this league than in Serie A.
You know, Villarreal should just flex their muscle and just go sign Luca Bacchio from Sevilla. They should just do that. He'll cost 15-20 million at this stage. If they get Luca Bacchio,
I think it might be a little bit more, man. He's carrying that whole damn team. But Sevilla, I think also still has to sell. I don't know how much leverage they have.
I think they have to sell a little bit more still.
God help them. Okay, guys, we got time for one more topic here. Any?
No, I didn't have any fresh off the top of my head for today.
Have you guys been impressed by Barca first 2 games? Because I've not been impressed with the first 2 games.
Not as much as I was hoping for, but I will say last season it was the same thing. Like after 2 games, we won 2-0.
Really?
2-1 and 1-0.
Didn't they win 7-0 against Valladolid?
Alaves, that came about a month into the season, I believe. But remember the first couple games, like it was like slow. I remember everyone was just talking about how suicidal our high line was for like the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, it still is.
It still is, yeah. But now we know like what the attack is capable of, so like we're a little more okay with it. I will say this: I'm disappointed in it from another perspective, which is decision making. I feel like last season buffed up this team in a way where I think we have to be careful with young players and egos. And I think you look at someone like Lamine Yamal. I love Lamine, man. I know what level he can hit. And the fact that I love that he's taking on defenders 1v1. What I don't love is he's just bypassing every passing option that's there for him for the most part. He's setting records quite literally because he's just not giving the ball up. And I don't know, man. I think it's going to come back to bite us sooner or later. I think we're
chemistry killer.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things where I don't know if he's feeling himself a little bit too much, if the ego is taken over. He's quite literally in games putting the crown on his head. I get it. I want Hansi Flick to humble him a little bit. Maybe it's taking him out of the lineup for a game, right? If he's not making the right decisions. And I know that there's that crazy record about Barca's win percentage when he's in the lineup versus when he's not. Completely understood on that point, but I think that there are certain teams in this league that we can take a risk with. And I'm hoping that Hansi Flick is okay doing with him what he did with Koundé. And I think Koundé, and now we have that, conundrum as to whether or not Koundé is going to be a legitimate starter moving forward. Barca fans are legitimately asking themselves that question right now. And I think you have to create that competition. I don't think Garcia will be the starter moving forward. Look, man,
Eric Garcia, Virgil Koundé. Are you serious?
I think it's clear and obvious. I still think there's something wrong with Koundé. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's form. Maybe it's something that, he came into this season after playing 100+ games last year. And it's like, dude, it's like, look, he needs more time to get back into like season form. But Garcia's playing well, man. And I will say he looks to be a better passer progressively of the ball than Koundé. And that's the one thing that maybe Hansi Flick is really looking for and prioritizing right now. But I think that there is somewhat of a controversy at that position.
There's a caveat there, which is he has not marked anybody of even moderate relevance yet through 2 games.
Yeah, fair enough. And it could be matchup. It could be matchup based, right? The lineup decisions. It could be like, hey, you know what? There's not a real risk right now to starting Garcia here over Koundé, and Koundé gets a little more rest because the big games are coming. I get that sentiment, but I think it's fair for Barca fans to ask the question because even last season, Hansi Flick was going with the strongest lineup regardless of matchup. Like it was just, it doesn't matter. Hey, bro, Alaves is coming. We're going to pummel these guys 7-0. It is what it is. Like we're just going to beat the shit out of them. Now it feels like he's making more matchup based decisions. And I'm curious about that.
I asked the question because I've only been really impressed by 4 teams: Villarreal, Getafe, Rayo, and Elche. Those are like 4 teams where I'm looking at them like, wow. Especially, guys, Getafe, bro, shout out to them. Because if they sell Uche,
Bordalas was pissed. You guys see his interview? He was
he's
so
pissed. He doesn't want to
leave
that way. I think he wanted it handled better, but I haven't seen any rumors that he's gone yet. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But those are the sort of teams where I look at them the first 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, I think these guys can really perform well this season. Obviously, it's only 2 weeks, so you can't get overreactionary about like, oh yeah, Elche would be staying up in La Liga or Getafe will finish in Champions League football. That's not going to happen. But overall, with the way they've been playing the football, I've been super impressed by Getafe and Rayo and Elche, and obviously Villarreal, but those are guarantees. I can't lie, watching Athletic Club, Barcelona, Real Madrid, it's looking like it's going to take some time for them to really find the rhythm into this season. And Betis, I think they just need their players back because they just need some quality, and they need to sign Anthony.
Yeah. I think Levante's also been impressive, though, from my perspective.
Yeah,
I think
I would say Levante, too.
Yeah, at home, bro, that that environment. I did again. It's been 2+ years, almost 3 years to play Levante, and I wasn't really ready for the environment. And watching that game back, everything from bro, you could like. I don't know if it's something that La Liga is doing for the English broadcast here in the States, but I feel like you can feel the atmosphere more. Maybe they're dialing down the commentary a little bit, and like you can just get more of that audio. Because I feel like it's the first 2 games, first 2 match weeks, and it's not just Barca games, other games that I'm watching too. You just get a bigger sense of the environment. And dude, Levante fans are fucking insane. They're insane. And then top it off, right? I feel like just they made everything super difficult for the big teams to come in. The pitch is fucking sloshing wet. It's like playing on a super rainy day after a fucking hurricane or something. The fans are in your face every step of the way. Lamine Yamal's having to like deal with heckling he hasn't really dealt with unless he's playing against Madrid. So I don't know, man. Levante to me will be very, very interesting to see. I know Jack's mentioned it before. Their home record is wild, and I think they're going to be a tripwire for so many teams this season.
Yeah, they've impressed me. Elche, I thought, just played really good footy, man. Like, it didn't look like some relegation desperation ball that I was kind of expecting. I'm like, oh no, these guys are actually tactically drilled very well. For Barca, I think that one guy who's impressed me. First off, I think Pedri looks super good to start the year again. And Ferran, bro. Ferran looks really, really good. He's probably the one guy that I'm like, damn, all right. Just take a little note there, like he's balling out, and then I keep it pushing. I think the rest of the players have been solid. But really none of our teams, I guess basically La Liga overall hasn't really had like a marquee matchup yet. I mean, we're getting them next week. Finally, we're going to start seeing some like better teams, but like everybody's playing like, 9-man Mallorca, or they're playing Elche, or I mean, shit. I guess we had the hardest one with Espanyol away.
I thought Athletic Club Rayo was going to be a banger. Like I really did, and like it had so much potential. Like it's just early season hiccups. I think Athletic Club didn't. I'm not putting a lot of stock into it, but they didn't look as good as I wanted them to. I think Nico was probably the standout player, but even his decision making in the attacking third wasn't the best. And Yaki, I don't know what he's doing half the time either. It was a penalty that decided that game ultimately. And dude, you can just see the fans on the timeline begging for Sunset to come in. That obviously changes the game. But bro, Rayo need a competent fucking striker. Like if De Frutos legitimately, bro, if he wasn't ass, could have changed that entire game. If you guys didn't watch, there was a second half moment where he was on a breakaway. It was a 2v1, and he goes in with his left foot to try and cross the ball. Michael knows what I'm talking about. I was like, bro, what the hell are we doing? He hits it right to the keeper with a wide open forward there. Nobody on him. The back line's completely exposed. It's a tap-in. It's a walk-in into the goal. And the execution is just terrible. And like I have to ask yourself, with this team and the aspirations they have this season, being in a European place, they got to make a move before the window's over. Got to make a move. Yeah, somebody, bro. Somebody who isn't going to just completely freeze up when they get into the attacking phase of the game.
Yeah. Well, to defend De Frutos, he's not supposed to be a striker.
Still,
so by letting him play in his natural position, I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, yeah, Rayo, if they get a striker, they instantly become like 20% scarier, like just like that, to where I'm really thinking like, oh God, we got to go to the Vallecas this weekend. Like this is gonna suck. Right now, it's kind of like, they're not clinical, so even if they have a good game, they're probably not going to take their chances.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel as a Barca fan. We're going to Vallecas this weekend, and like normally I still am. I'm always hesitant with Rayo because like they're just like a weird team, especially when they play at home.
They love to get up for the big game too.
Yeah, bro, 100%. But like at the same,
that's the first home game of the season too.
Yeah, at the same time, it's like I just have the feeling we're just gonna outscore them. Doesn't matter what they do because they don't have someone up front that I just fear. I fear Levante's attacking line more than I fear Rayo.
Guys, we're gonna end the episode there. Like we said, this Sunday we'll be live for Athletic Club Real Betis. First live stream of the season. Should be super, super fun, so don't miss that. We'll kick off like 15 minutes before the game goes live. Make sure you follow myself and all my co-hosts on social media. Everything in the description of this video. Let us know your thoughts on Match Day 2 in La Liga down below. And we'll see you guys in the next one.